with the critical question, can Africa get its security and infrastructure right?
Mahama also put forth a cocktail of antidotes to Africa's security and infrastructure problems.
It is also worthwhile to mention that democratic processes, good governance, development, and poverty eradication are mutually reinforcing imperatives that give meaning to security and infrastructure in Africa today. It is therefore important for our African countries to continue to enhance capacities to protect the states and to protect citizens.
The former Ghanaian vice president also stated that the interventions have to be integrated into a human security approach in which the well-being of the citizenry creates the environment for better security infrastructure that is sustainable. Francis Mendy, GRTS.
A special envoy dispatched by the South African President Jacob Zuma to deliver a special message to Professor Jammeh this evening called on the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Maite Kawana Masiveni, who is South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, later spoke to GRTS after our audience with Aja Dr. Aisnujai Sedi.
I've come to the Gambia and I've had the honor to come and deliver a message from President Zuma to His Excellency the President of Gambia and Madam Deputy President, the special message from President Zuma. President Zuma believed that the leadership of the government of the Gambia reads from the same hymn sheet with, as far as President Zuma is concerned, regarding the issues around political and economic developments and strengthening of the African Union. So we have come to share notes on how further we could strengthen the AU so that we continue to work on resolving African problems the African way by Africans themselves, but also looking at how we could further strengthen our bilateral ties with the government of the Gambia together with my counterpart, the Foreign Minister of the Gambia, by hosting in South Africa the next joint commission which looks at all elements of bilateral relations, from strengthening of political ties to also economic and cultural ties between the people of South Africa and the people of the Gambia, led by the Foreign Minister of the Gambia and myself. We have also committed to continuing our interaction at the next meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Government in Perth this month. Yes, around the 25th of October.
South Africa's Minister of International Cooperation there talking to GRTS after a closed-door meeting with the Vice President. The Director General of the President's Alternative Medical Treatment Program, Dr. Tamsin Bow, informs the general public that His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh will hold a treatment session for the infertility patients at Kanilai on Thursday, 28 October 2011. All those who have registered for the infertility treatment are being urged to be at the Kanilai Alternative Medical Clinic in Bakau before 10 a.m. for the trip to Kanilai. Dr. Mbow is reachable on 991-4535 for further information. From there we take our first break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Sentencing is set for January 12 in the trial of the man prosecutors called the underwear bomber. Omar Farouk Abdul Muttalib told a shocked Detroit court on Wednesday that he tried to blow up a US-bound airliner on Christmas Day 2009. Let's go with this report from on that.
He Surprise on day 2 of his trial. Accused underwear bomber Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib pleaded guilty to all 8 charges against him, including conspiracy to commit terrorism and attempted murder. After a long recess, Abdul Muttalib replied, "I plead guilty" to each count read to him by the judge. Sounding defiant, Abdul Muttalib read a statement admitting his guilt, saying he did it to avenge the death of innocent Muslims. "I am guilty of this by U.S. law, but not in the Quran," he said. He warned the United States if it continued to kill Muslims, a calamity would befall the country. "If you laugh at us now, we will laugh at you later." Abdul Muttalib's standby counsel and legal advisor, Anthony Chambers, spoke outside the courthouse.
Pleading to something where there's a life sentence is not something that I recommend.
It's been nearly 2 years since the Nigerian graduate student turned wannabe suicide bomber tried to blow up Delta Northwest Flight 253 with a bomb planted in his underwear. The bomb contained PETN, a compound that's been used in other al-Qaeda plots. Prosecutors were pleased with the outcome.
There are other options available. There is a military tribunal system, but I believe that the civilian court system is a valid use. It's a good tool in the terrorism toolbox.
Passengers aboard the plane were ready to testify against him in court.
He was guilty. He put terror in children's eyes.
Bessis says he sat 2 rows behind Abdul Muttalib and tried to put the fire out with his hat.
But it's over with, thank God. We all made it.
The underwear bomber now faces life in prison. His sentencing will be in January. Deborah Farrick, CNN, Detroit.
We now take our second break. Sports is next. Moroccans celebrated the construction of a new stadium in Tanja with a convincing win over the Gambia. The North African side is preparing for life in the Olympic qualifying series in the coming months and has lined up a series of friendly encounters, including the one against the Gambian side. Ababakar Senghor watched the game in Tanja, and this is his report.
Morocco's outermost town is stationed just a whisker away from Spanish towns of Malaga, Compostela, and Sevilla. The coastline is now home to one of the kingdom's most beautiful and iconic sports structures, the Tanja Sports Complex. Built and completed some 3 months earlier, the stadium's inaugural match saw the home side's Olympic team, featuring a host of highly European young guns, play against an inexperienced Gambian under-20 side. The home support needed little to experience the delight of a over Tanja when stylish central midfield star Zakaria Layard showed glimpses of his repertoire of deadly long-range skills. His fierce shot was destined for the top corner, but was only thwarted by an acrobatic save from Alhaji Nyabali. His heroics will not hurt the home side's barrage on the Gambian goal, with 2 first-half goals conceded in quick succession. Striker El Hasnawi took advantage of symbolic defending to from 6 yards. The precedence leading to the opener was as a result of the Gambian side's slow start to proceedings, but damage was done a little before the end of the first 5 minutes. The central referee stunned even the home support by awarding a hugely debatable penalty, much to the chagrin of the Gambian players, whose collective protest fell on deaf ears. The hugely influential Zakaria Layard dispatched the resulting spot kick past the impressive Nyabali. 2-0, and the home side looked to be cruising to victory on Gambian team officials made one crucial introduction to the game. Mahmoud Sen took to the field and brought in an immediate measure of control to the away side's serious slide out of sight. The Gambian side improved, creating a number of chances, but were to be let down by another tremendous late revision. Another penalty call, another hugely debatable action, Zakaria. The goal ensured a lively and vigorous home support enjoy a picnic atmosphere at the complex.
We apologize for that. And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. A South African minister on a mission to strengthen Pretoria Banjul